Marhaba. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us with the podcast at Chalhoub Group. I really hope this is the last podcast we start saying the pandemic did this and that, but it's true. The pandemic has really shaped how everyone looks at health and well-being. Part of it is our skin health and skincare. So just like we care about what we eat and what we put in our mouth, we also now starting to care more and more about what we put on our faces and our body in general. And the pandemic has also helped us see some movements and trends such as minimalism. We also talk about slow beauty. I know nobody wants slow. We want like super fast results. And at the same time, things that are homemade for the skincare. So we are seeing clean beauty rising. And in fact, skincare is in the GCC specifically is expected to double by 2030. So enough with me, because I have today our experts from Chalhoub Group. We start with Stephanie Shenouda, who's our senior brand manager in the Clean Beauty division. Thank you for joining us. And I know it was last minute, but that's what we do. So
thank you for having me.
No, it's great. Really, we're very excited. We have Alice Fourquet. Hi, Alice.
Hi.
She is the head of beauty curation. So that sounds very exciting.
Yes.
So we're going to know all about what you do. And Maricel Evangelista,
Hello.
Who is from our L'Occitane brand, a skincare expert. So you're the one who really helps all the people who walk in the store have an idea of what they need in life, right?
Yes.
So thank you very much for joining us. And I would like to start with Stephanie. Let's talk about clean beauty. You know, it's a term we're hearing more and more. What does clean really mean?
Clean beauty has a lot of meanings and a lot of definitions. There isn't one set definition where everyone agrees upon worldwide. But for us as Chalhoub, we believe clean beauty is when a product is created mindfully and is considered safe for the people and for the planet. So basically, any product that is not harmful, that doesn't include harmful ingredients such as paraben, silicone, does not include any synthetic chemicals, that is produced and formulated with zero plastics. This is where these brands and products fall under the umbrella of clean beauty. It's also very important to clarify to people that clean products doesn't necessarily mean that it's not effective. It is effective. Efficacy is a huge part. These brands include active ingredients that are also natural and deliver great results.
Okay, that's a very hard definition of clean beauty. So for people who are just walking in the store and they really want to identify something. So you said things like mindful, but then you said things like chemicals and ingredients. Some things are, I feel, a bit emotional. What kind of ingredients they look for when it comes to understanding clean? So is it vegan? Is it, what can they look for on the label?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things for them to look for. There is vegan, there is organic, there is cruelty-free as well, because we need to be mindful to the environment. So we need to be conscious of not harming any animals when we're doing any testing. So these are a sample of the labels that they can look at. And there is also an easy way for the consumers who are unfortunately still not aware of the concept of clean beauty. There are multiple apps in the market where they can just scan the barcode, and these apps work as a checker for the ingredients, and it will notify the consumer whether this product is clean or not. Having said that, we really need to be very conscious and educated, not fully relying on these apps. So again, the consumer needs to be educated, look and search a lot, and learn more about clean beauty and the ingredients that shouldn't be in these products.
So interesting. And I think you said we're getting educated. I think it's a key word. And honestly, skincare has really seen growth, especially in the UAE and followed by Saudi Arabia as well. And beauty in general, when you say beauty as an industry, you talk about fragrances. It's about perfumes mainly and makeup. And now clean beauty and skincare part of that is the growing segment, right? So maybe in the US or Europe, you have a bit more awareness and desire for these products. How do you see, people today in the region, from behavior, usage, or asking questions to you, Alice? I mean, on your brand websites, what do you notice in terms of this desire for clean beauty here?
Yeah, I think you said it very right. I mean, we're still playing a little bit of catch up. Nevertheless, we are catching up. I think today the demand for clean beauty is very undeniable when we're looking at consumers. We can really sort of see it coming from kind of two elements. First of all, we've seen obviously the recent introduction of a lot of namesake brands that have really entered the market, and they've been met with a lot of excitement, both from retailers and consumers. So the likes of Drunk, the likes of Tatcha, and so on. Another thing as well that we're seeing is the fact that today there's a lot more homegrown brands that are really investing, I will say, the clean beauty space amongst, like, for instance, most of the brands that we've entered within the Chalhoub group, beauty incubators. And I will say when, sort of the entrepreneurs of the region that are creating brand for the region are sort of really investing into one agenda, it means like something is cooking. So definitely today there is an undeniable interest. What we're seeing is really our consumers, I mean, to Stephanie's point, sort of trying to understand a little bit more the ingredients, looking into the different labels, trying to sort of have a bit of traceability almost of where the product is from, what's the story behind it, what's the mission behind it. So these are really the thing that maybe consumers were not necessarily interested in the past, but are sort of really changing today when sort of engaging with them and understanding their requirements.
Yeah, indeed. I think especially with Gen Zs and the younger generation, right? And I liked one of the definitions that one of the experts was saying, that clean beauty is really a behavior and a way of life. So people are living clean, actually. They're trying to be more sustainable in their behaviors and their consumption, their own personal carbon emissions now. So it's really beyond that. But I like how it was defined like a convergence of multiple roads, and whether it's the environment or technology or health and safety, all of these are under the umbrella of being clean or choosing clean beauty and clean skincare. Very interesting. I think my next question is, when you see, I mean, the desire of people, and just like with nutrition and health, and I always refer to it because I'm a nutritionist and I'm really a big advocate of health and wellness, and you see people just not knowing who to trust, right? Where do you get a good product from? At the same time, there's so many fads. There are skinfluencers that Maricel was telling me about just before we started. So how do you guide them to trust the products and where to find the information today?
I think the word that you mentioned, trust, is very, very, very important. And again, I think this is something that Stephanie was mentioning earlier. I think one of the resistance that we've seen for the longest time with clean beauty was the notion of efficacy. And today, I mean, what we're looking at is a lot of the brands obviously have really evolved. And I would say clean beauty today is not sort of, and excuse me for the expression, it's not sort of the, proprietary of like the tree huggers, the people that are sort of overly conscious about the environment, and with all respect that I have, because I think this is a beautiful cause, but it's a lot more democratic. It really talks to a lot of people. It's not your sort of backyard concoction anymore. Like, there's a lot of scientific data. There's a lot of research that is being put into it. The ingredients are a lot more potent than they used to be. So I think today, if I may say, like the clean beauty is lit. Excuse me for the expression again, but it's cool. It's sort of inclusive. It's engaging. It's fun, and so on. So I think one of the key notion of trust comes from that sort of making clean beauty more accessible to consumers. The fact that it's more relatable to them. It's not just, something for a very few. It's something that talks more to the mass, is already, I will say, a vector of trust for the consumers. Further element of trust will be, again, what was mentioned is really looking into the composition, sort of trusting, for people that are a bit less educated, the reviews that you can get, following skin influencers, which are today more and more vectors of education. I think education is already a notion that came a few times. I think today it's really about first supporting consumers and into their education, giving them the tool for them to make more informed decision choices, basically.
Thank you. I mean, I love that you said science. So I always light up when I hear science as a scientist myself. So science has been, invested, and I mean, budgets and money has been invested by all companies globally for the past many years to create proprietary ingredients and make their products really with those magical ingredients that can help transform your skin and your face and your body overnight. And today the science is also, we're going back to basics, but we're still scientific. So I think, what I would like to understand more is, will this replace the other? Are we going in that direction? Or do you think that the science will allow room for everyone? Because, I mean, let's be honest, sometimes you need, correction of things. You need the diagnosis and treatments. And you do need those. I mean, chemistry is part of medicine, right? So not to say this is bad, this is good. I think if you can explain to me how this evolution is happening with both.
Yeah, definitely science and innovation are at the forefront of this. It will not replace the regular beauty products, to be very honest. It will be more of an extension to these beauty lines that everyone loves. It will provide multiple choices for consumers to make a conscious decision when purchasing their products, something that they believe in and they know that will be healthy and good for their skin and for the environment as well. So again, not kind of a replacement, but more of an extension. And I think we all aspire for a better world, right?
Yes.
And we want to live in a world where there is plastic free. So we might as well just take the first step forward by moving to clean beauty regards to our beauty essentials.
And if I may add to it, I think what's really interesting as well is obviously, I mean, it's such a tsunami today, the clean beauty within the beauty industry, that basically it's elevating the standards for everyone. And one of the conversations that I'm always having with people is like, is it still relevant to talk about clean beauty? Because isn't it basically going to become the norm tomorrow? And then innovation is going to be on other fronts. And I think this is also something that is very relevant to our consumers, because we spoke about it. Clean beauty is still quite of a vague notion. And today, I mean, it's more about, what's the efficacy of the product and how good are they? How are they relatable to our consumers? And on top of it, they're clean, which, of course, is the greater good. But again, I think they're really shifting the whole industry towards that. So the role as well is to elevate the industry and sort of become the new norm as well for the other players.
100%. I agree with you. I think that everyone must be sustainable. Like, there is no room for any brand or people or companies that say, I don't want to be sustainable because I only want to live today and I don't care about the future. So I think in that space, everyone is going to be more sustainable, and there will be room for all players as long as they are respectful to the, biodiversity, to the planet and to the people. I think it's important. Maricel, so Alice, you were really talking about, the ingredients and having clean or not. But Maricel was telling me a lot about slow beauty. You touched upon it. Maricel, you are in the store, the skincare expert that everyone goes to. So tell me, how do they accept that notion? You told me be patient, be consistent, and I love that. So Tell me more.
For everyone who's entering the store, none of them or some of them are not aware about the brands. How do they take care of the skin? So we as a beauty ambassadors, one of our responsibility is to share with them how can they take care of the skin. So yes, we explain the benefits and ingredients. However, in our brand, we have what we call the beauty moments, which is we let our guests experience the products before they can purchase. And with this action, with the beauty moments, we gain a lot of customers in the store that our brands are existing the skincare at the same time, because some of them, they are just aware that we have only body products and fragrance. Some of them are not aware that we have a skincare line. So as our responsibility as a beauty ambassador, we always encourage them to experience the beauty moments. That's what makes our brand unique.
That's amazing. And when you told me before the show, I love that we had such a chat before we started the podcast. So The patience and consistency are key, right? But people often come to you know, like either they have no clue what they need, or they have a problem, or they're looking for ingredients. What is the majority of today's, I would say UAE customers, because you're based here, right? So what is the majority of reasons they start their questions to you?
Majority skin concern UAE residents or expats, most of them having a pigmentation. Though we are not exposed, especially us, we're not exposed much on the sun, but never underestimate the power or the value of sunscreen. Yes, right now we're having laptop, mobile, digitals. Our skin can cause pigmentation. Are you aware about that? Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately, yes.
As we're living in the desert, it's very sunny. Even the winter, we are still exposed on the UV rays that can cause damage. Then at the same time, we are living in the air condition almost 24 hours, so the skin gets more dehydrated. So I can advise that double up our water intake and additional more hydrating products on our skin routine.
Amazing. I think we will need multiple series of podcasts with
Thank you.
So tell me, all of these buzz ingredients like hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, vitamin A in the skin. And I know you did a webinar, which actually, yay, the webinar about vitamins in your skin, right? So tell me, are these clean and are they really good for the skin?
Yeah, the products the ingredients which is included on the products is similar on what we take like supplements or intake for food. So having a good quality of ingredients or vitamins on the products is really helping the skins get more glowing, healthy skin, because as you know, we women, we love to age gracefully. It's really essential to have a good quality products when we use daily. And one of the most important thing when any guests who enter the store, we recommend the basic, which is the basic routine: cleanse, tones, moisturize, and sun protection. But it depends on the guests. Sometimes they don't have enough time with a busy life working mom. We always introduce or encourage them the hybrid products, which is multiple usage and benefits on the skin. Because none of them or some of them are having a busy life. Some of them, they don't have something to do, so they can complete the routine. As we expert, we always try to introduce or encourage the hybrid products for every guest.
Hybrid products. I'm going to come back and get one of those, because you keep telling us about the 10 steps. 10 steps. And I keep counting and I do it all over again. And I say, okay, you wash and then you do the toner and then you do maybe hyaluronic acid serum, and I'm being extremely here delicate, and then vitamin C serum, and then you put your face cream. And then what? What am I missing?
You're missing with your eye cream or eye serum.
Okay.
Sun protection is number one. Never forget that one. And complementary products, which is scrub and mask at least twice a week, which is really necessary to our skin to complete the 10 steps in our routine. I know it's a lot. However, it's part of you to become more pretty on the way how you take care of your skin.
Oh my God, so many things to learn. So many things to learn, and all these products and machines and rollers and things that are actually good, as you say, right? So
it's really helpful for our lifting, firming. It's a kind of being patient and really consistency, because nobody can love you, only yourself.
Yes. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you. Of course, I mean, this is such an important topic, and we can sit and talk all day. So maybe I think I'll have one last question for you. What would be the future of skincare and clean beauty? And how would Chalhoub Group actually work towards making this more available to the consumer, just like we made all kinds of luxury brands available in the region?
As you know, of course, Chalhoub has been and will be continuing the leader and the pioneer across many sectors, and clean beauty is no different. So we want to be the pioneers in clean beauty by introducing these brands to the market, making sure that we make it accessible to all of our consumers. As a retailer as well, this is our main role. And as a group, we believe in young entrepreneurs and startup companies as well. So we make sure that we support them to grow their brands. And for example, we are investing in the clean beauty brand La Bouche Rouge. and in the iconic French pharmacy group, Pharmacie Monge. And we're looking also into a lot of other brands as well that we will be recruiting and acquiring within our portfolio. So as a group, we believe in this concept, and we really want to educate and raise awareness in our region. And we basically want to make them accessible just one click away. We don't have to travel, as Alice has mentioned, all around the globe to Europe or to the US to have our hands on these products. We want them to be just online, in our region, in stores, and provide these brands as well with an omni-channel approach.
Well, that sounds fantastic. And I'm sure the pharmacy channel has yet to benefit as well from this, and more to come later. Alice, beauty curation. Are we going to create more products? What are we going to do?
Yes, we're definitely going to create more products. We're going to recruit more product as well. Like we said earlier today, there's a demand from the consumers. And I think it's been a bit of economic. There's been a demand where there's been more offer, and then offer nurture demand. So I think in that aspect, obviously we're going to see a lot of growth when it comes to the clean beauty. The group, as you rightly mentioned it as well, is heavily investing into that category. We're really looking at it from two fronts. There's almost a B2B side of it, where we've put in place a task force to really sort of, include skincare and clean beauty within the growth agenda or the growth strategy of the group. So we're really trying to invest all aspects, from the communication to the content to the curation, obviously, and to the education. And then there's a second aspect, which is more like the B2C, where today through, we're using our business medium to really continue to push the agenda. So Beauty Nation, definitely one of them today, where, we're really trying to bring the topic of education for the Arab youth when it comes to skincare at the forefront of everything that we're doing. You mentioned Pharmacie Monge. We're also signing a partnership with the Detox Market, which I think is a fantastic opportunity for the group as well, because we're literally partnering with one of the global authority in terms of clean beauty. So these are all the things that you're going to see, and that sort of really demonstrate that today clean beauty, it's not a trend for the group, it's not gimmick. It's really something that's very inherent to the values of the group. So that really helps us to sort of cement our purpose at core. So you'll see a lot more coming.
Yeah, we look forward to that. And I'm sure that it's going to be even more and more regulated, so that consumers will really have even more trust in what they are purchasing and seeing. So thank you very much, ladies. Thank you for joining us in this beautiful topic. I'm sure we will have so many more things to discuss. Thank you, everyone, for listening in or watching us. And please share your feedbacks and let us know what topics you'd like to hear next. Bye-bye.